y'all. Welcome back to my channel. We are dealing with some thunderstorms and lightning and all that good stuff. So my apologies that didn't go right to the open video, but hey, we're making it through. We're getting through it, and that's just what we're doing. I hope you're doing well. This is actually going to be my last sharing for today, I believe, but we are talking about some interesting stories. Yeah, we are getting into a little bit of conversation about Common and what his intentions are with the beautiful Miss J Hud. We are also talking about Tiffany Haddish's feelings about said relationship. We know that she has kind of let her feelings be known in the past about certain things in regards to their pairing, but it looks like there might be a bit of definitely some growth and health and healing in what has been happening for her, and we're wishing her well. So we're going to get into that a little bit as well. And then we are going to get into, let's see, what was the next one was going to be about. Nene Leakes is actually sharing a little bit of how things are going along in her relationship. Now, she's got that new show that's on Lifetime, and she's been talking lots about that and some of the crazy antics that those couples are dealing with. So I guess she figured she wanted to let us know that, things sometimes are work in progress, relationship. And then lastly, we're going to be covering a little bit of Remy Ma. There seems to be a new thing that she has done, maybe new thing, new action that might give us a little bit more insight into whether or not reconciliation is forthcoming or not with Papoose. And yeah, so we're just going to get into all of those sharings. I definitely want to know your comments and your feelings about the stories down in the comment section below. So definitely leave your respectful comments down there. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the first sharing, starting off with Common. Let's see. According to Vibe and Yahoo.com, Common talks about his future plans with Jennifer Hudson. And he basically says, if I'm going to get married, it's going to be to her. Yeah, Common's doing a lot of talking in this relationship, more than I think I've ever heard him in any other relationship prior. It looks like Common has finally found his match in Jennifer Hudson, his girlfriend. While promoting his new album with Pete Rock on The Breakfast Club, the Come Close rapper gushed over his lady and talked potential plans of marrying her. With all due respect to the women I've dated, it's all love, but this is a really healthy and beautiful relationship, said the 52-year-old. I'm just doing my best to keep God first and communicate. Taking all the stuff I've learned as a human being, the failures I've had in relationships, on my responsibility, and I'm taking from that, learning from that. Life is about creating happiness, joy, and love. She's from where I'm from spiritually. She's from where we are geographically, for where I come from, and just from where I am from as a person. And truth be told, I'm actually not so surprised about that, because I felt that this would probably be a possible relationship that could work because of the fact that there were so many similarities, sorry. Being that they were also from the same town, I just felt for some reason that would be a vibe for them, and it seems to be one of those factors for how and why things are working. So continued on. After the host Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy commented on how it felt that he was hinting towards marriage, Common responded, if I'm gonna get married, it's to her. Simple as that. Ooh, that's quite affirmative. With him and Hudson being Chicago natives, it helped them strengthen their bond. I'm gonna be real with you. Having a lady from Chicago allowed me to go home and just be home. And I hadn't did that in a while. That helped me with this album. The pair confirmed their romance back in January on the Jennifer Hudson show. Let me know if you saw that episode, following rumors that they had been surfacing for months. Even back then, Common described their union as his happy place. Without naming names, Common shared, I'm in a relationship that is with one of the most beautiful people I've met in life. She's smart, she loves God, she has something real down to earth about her, she's talented, but I set my standard high because she had to be Haven't he got? She had to win an Oscar on her first movie, and she had to get her own talk show, which, of course, all these things Miss Jennifer Hudson has accomplished. He says that this relationship is a happy place for me, adding, "It's like for me, it's one of those things where I found where seeing her happy actually makes me really happy. I'm very grateful. I thank God each and every day." An audience member had then yelled out, "She's the one," and neither Common nor Hudson disagreed. Well, I think that's lovely. I really do. And again, I have not heard Common talk about any relationship that he's been in, as much as he seems to really be sharing about his relationship with Jennifer. If you know otherwise, let me know down below. But what are your thoughts about that so far? I mean, I don't think I've ever even heard him speak anything about marriage. And so for him to actually say, yeah, she's going to be the one, that's big, especially for Common. He's obviously had a lot of notable relationships with a lot of celebrity ladies, and maybe some not were not, but of course, the ones that are in the business are the ones we hear mostly about. He did famously date Tiffany Haddish as well. That seemed like a relationship that might have been going somewhere, but unfortunately, that had ended. So, this is why we're going into the conversation about Tiffany Haddish and what she had to say. But just back on Common and Jennifer for just a second. I just found that it was quite interesting that I've heard more about, him speaking on this, not as much of Jennifer, but I guess we'll see as time goes on. She's probably one of those ones that wants to let him say whatever he needs to say. And, she'll let you know when there's something to be said. Jennifer also had dated the father of her child, and I believe they were engaged for quite some time. And unfortunately, that did not work out. But it looks like she has found love with Common. So let's hope that this continues on in the positive trek that it seems to be on, because he definitely seems smitten. So now moving on to complex.com article, where Tiffany Haddish obviously was going to be asked about this, because she again has been famously opened about her feelings with a little quirks here and there as regards to their relationship. So let's get into this. Tiffany Haddish responds after Common says he married Jennifer Hudson, and she basically says, "Hey, I hope they actually get married." So the actress had dated her ex in 2020 before breaking up the following year. Tiffany Haddish seems to be supportive of her ex-boyfriend Common's relationship with Jennifer Hudson. In an interview with the Breakfast Club published on Monday, Common, 52, had gushed about dating the Chicago-bred singer, 42, saying that she was responsible for helping him feel grounded and connected to his Chicago roots, which has been beneficial for his music. "I'm going to be real with you, like having a lady that's from Chicago," which we had kind of went into the last sharing. He shared that, but basically feels like he's happy to be able to go home again. And that's what it feels like with her. And he hadn't had that for a while. So of course he's enjoying that now. He basically, shares that with all due respect with the women that he had previously. This is one of the happiest and healthiest relationships that he has been in. Of course, when he was asked about marrying the dream girls, he had basically said if he was going to do it, it would be her. And that was simple as that. Now, Haddish seemingly caught wind of Common's comments through a clip of the interview on the radio show's Instagram account. And she says, "Well, there, he said it. He wants to marry her. He ain't never said that about no woman before," wrote a fan in the comments section. "Exactly. I hope they actually get married," Tiffany Haddish had replied. According to People, Common and Haddish met while co-starring in The Kitchen in the 2019 and made things official the following year, last July. If you've seen that movie, The Kitchen, let me know down below. I didn't even know that it existed. I knew that they did something together, but I didn't know the name of it. Last July. So Haddish told the Washington Post that their 2021 breakup wasn't mutual and that the relationship had run its course. In April, the Girls Trip actress claimed that Common chased her for 2 years prior to the relationship until she agreed to go out with him. But despite rumors swirling that they were dating in 2022, Common and Hudson had denied the speculation that they were romantically involved until he appeared on the Jennifer Hudson show early this year and confirmed their relationship. So, as I shared here in this sharing that, Tiffany did have a few little things here and there to say over time as this relationship has been evolving. But it seems now that she is in a better place, maybe in a more happier, more healthier place where she is wishing him well. And I think that's the best that we can do, right? Sometimes relationships don't work out. We don't have to talk about it all the time. We don't have to bring things up about them. Once it's over, it's over. That's just my thoughts, my feelings. You let me know how you feel down below. I know some people will say, hey, look, people have a right to say what they want to say about their story and share their story. And I think that's true. I think that's great. But I think that when you prolong it for a long period of time, going into years after, then you got to really ask yourself, are you really over it? And if you're not, how can we get to the point where we can be? Because you don't want to block your blessings. There's always something that's going to be better in the horizon. At least if you think positive and work towards that, that has a greater chance of coming to you. But if you're holding on to old relationships and old situations, it never does work out really in the end anyways, no matter what we may be feeling at the time. But, definitely you do have your right to tell your truth and your feelings about things if asked or whatnot. But I just think that at some point we got to have a cutoff on it and let's move on to get to that greater relationship. And it just seems like Tiffany is doing much better. She's had a rough go at it the last couple of years. There's a lot of controversial things that have come out, but it seems like she's trying to work past that. We're starting to see her more in other different projects. I think she had a commercial not too long ago that she was in as well. So, or it's a music video, I think it was actually, and I thought it was run on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, so what are your thoughts about that? Do you feel that Tiffany Haddish is going on the right, track now? Being accepting of the relationship of Common and whoever he would be with, whether it's with Jennifer or anybody, and being able to move on. I'd love to know your thoughts below, respectfully, down in the comments section. So let's go ahead and move on to our next story. And it looks like we are going to be talking about JLO, and I don't think I had mentioned that as far as one of the areas that we're going to talk about in this video in the beginning. Basically, there seems to be possibly a slither of hope. Maybe that's what is being talked about. We'll see. This has been an ongoing saga for months, and yeah, let's get into that story. Okay, now according to page, oh no, not page 6. That's not the right one. USmagazine.com. They're saying that there's a sliver of hope for Ben and Affleck and Jennifer Lopez as they take time apart. Sources can say exclusively. Let's get into this. Now, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are doing their own thing right now, as we've all seen a lot of coverage on. A source shares that in the last issue of US Weekly, Jennifer suggested that they just take time to figure it out. The source explains, reiterating that the couple are living separate lives right now. Despite Lopez's recent solo trip to Europe, she and Affleck, 51, still haven't made a decision regarding their rumored split. A second insider tells us, adding that there's still a sliver of hope for reconciliation. They are going through so much individually and as a couple, a third source reveals to us. They may take some time to see if this complicated moment can resolve itself and if they can come back to each other as better people. Now, despite the hard times, Lopez, 54, and Affleck are hoping to remain amicable going forward. They don't hate each other. They just are going through difficult times, the third insider adds. Now, Lopez and Affleck have had a long romantic story and a long romantic history. They met on the set of JLO in the early 2000s and were engaged by November 2002, but they never made it down the aisle, splitting in early 2004. Years after their initial relationship, Lopez and Affleck rekindled their romance in 2021. They were engaged for a second time in April 2022 and walked down the aisle 3 months later. Earlier this year, however, fans had started to question the status of their pair's marriage when they hadn't seen them posting out together for 47 days. That's interesting when you have an exact count of when the last time you saw them. Now in May, US confirmed that Affleck had moved out of the Beverly Hills home he had shared with Lopez. The following month, US confirmed the pair are looking to sell their home, which I believe it's actually on the market now. I don't know if they've actually gotten a buyer, but it's definitely out there now. Neither of them have spoken publicly about their relationship thus far, but the tension was brought up during Lopez's recent Atlas press tour. And I wonder how many of you probably saw that interview. If you did, drop that down below. You know better than that, she responded when asked about her marriage after a co-star Simu Lee had came to her defense. Troubles aside, both Lopez and Affleck are continuing to wear their wedding rings, which is interesting because there was some conversation that shared that Ben had not. So, I was kind of like, taken aback when I saw you put it back on. Last month, a source had told us that the duo can't get on the same page and have been discussing divorce as an option. A second insider note that Lopez is trying to figure out her next act, especially after the cancellation of her summer tour. Jennifer has been trying for months to make it work and is pushing to fix things, a third insider added at the time. So I guess we will see how that goes. So now moving along, as this reconciliation conversation is being had, according to People.com, Jennifer Lopez and Violet Affleck were walking arm in arm in the Hamptons as Ben Affleck was riding a motorcycle in LA. This was this past weekend, apparently. Lopez and Violet had stepped out together in Southampton, New York on July 14th. Jennifer Lopez and Violet Affleck are spending time together. The singer and actress, 54, was spotted walking arm in arm with Ben Affleck's 18-year-old daughter, Violet, as they headed out in Southampton, New York on Sunday, July 14th. Lopez and Violet had their arms around each other as they prepared to enter 75 Main restaurant, and the pair were joined by Violet's best friend, actress Cassidy Fralin. A source tells People that Lopez and Violet really enjoyed each other's company. They both seem so happy to be spending this time together and are just enjoying the moment, says the source. Lopez wore a plunging black maxi dress for the outing as she carried a Hermes Birkin and matching black while sporting her wedding ring and a pair of large aviator sunglasses. Now, meanwhile, on the same day in Los Angeles, Ben, 51, was photographed out solo riding his motorcycle on the opposite side of the coast. The actor and director has and was seen on his bike wearing a black leather jacket with matching gloves and helmet. That's so you get a whole visual, right? The separate sightings of Lopez and Affleck, who had wed in 2022, follow reports of tension in their marriage, sparked most recently after they spent Independence Day weekend apart, according to sources. Violet recently joined Lopez on the East Coast during the performer's stay in the Hamptons. And on Saturday, July 13th, Lopez had shared a short video on her Instagram stories of her enjoying a sunny car ride with her stepdaughter following her arrival as she sat smiling in the front seat of her car with the roof open, wearing her wedding ring and sunglasses as Violet and Fralin peered out of the window. A source previously had told People that Lopez and Violet went shopping that same day at Roller Rabbit in East Hampton, New York, and Lopez seemed to be very happy shopping with Ben's daughter. She had a big smile on her face, a second source shared. Lopez and Violet were also seen dress shopping at Love Shack Fancy and Sag Harbor on July 12th, according to WWD. Now, on Sunday, July 14th, Lopez was spotted without Violet driving around after a workout session, as she continued in her Hampton stay. And as you can see, everybody looks like they're continuing going. All right, let's get back into that. So now Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck had spent their second wedding anniversary on separate coasts in New York and LA. Of course, as we know, because this is the time frame that they should be having their anniversary. Number 2, it's hard to believe all this going on within such a short period of time. Now, Lopez, as shown, rode a bike in the Hamptons while Affleck was seen heading into his office. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck had marked their second wedding anniversary separately. Lopez, 54, who has been spending time in New York after taking a multi-day trip to Europe without Affleck, 51, was seen riding her bike in the Hamptons on Tuesday, July 16th. The date marks 2 years since she and her husband tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in Las Vegas. They then had a second ceremony in front of their family and friends in Georgia that August. For the leisure time outdoors, Lopez had wore white overalls, brown sandals, and hair in a loose bun. She was also seen in the passenger seat of a black vehicle driven by her manager, Benny Medina. As for Affleck, he was seen walking into his Los Angeles office wearing a black business suit and his wedding ring while holding onto a large duffel bag. The movie star has stayed put in California for much of the summer and missed out on attending events with Lopez, including the Met Gala, the premiere of her film Atlas, due to the production on The Accountant 2, which I'm actually looking forward to. I saw the first one, took me a while to see the one, but that was a good movie, Accountant 1, so I'm looking forward to Accountant 2. Although the film recently wrapped filming, Affleck has continued to stay in Los Angeles, included during the 4th of July weekend. The time apart on their second wedding anniversary comes days after the publicly listed their Beverly Hills home on the market and amid what sources have said is tension in their marriage. So yes, their house has definitely been listed. While neither have spoken out about the status of their marriage, a source had told People in June that the two don't have any plans together and are focused on their separate lives. Affleck's daughter Violet, as shared in the previous sharing, 18, has been spotted spending time with Lopez in the Hamptons, and they had been riding bikes and taking summertime car rides together. Now, following their quality time together, Insider told People that Lopez and Violet really enjoy each other's company. They both seemed very happy and enjoyed spending that time, according to an insider. So it's interesting how it seems like there's a much more camaraderie between her and the children than it does with her and Ben. So I guess we'll just see how long this mystery will take to unfold, whether divorce is imminent or not. It doesn't seem to be quite a lot going on. It's been pretty much a roller coaster ride for months now. As you know, JLO has been having a lot of mishaps happening with the canceled tour, with I think it was like a documentary slash type of video movie. I don't know exactly what it was supposed to be, but sharing the love that wasn't the story, love that wasn't, whatever it's called. That didn't have great reviews to it. So it's just been a lot going on, I'm sure. And then, of course, having to deal with the potential marital issues that seems to be obviously evident, that playing out for the world to see. So I guess time will tell how this will continue on and if there will be some reconciliation or not. But in the meantime, I guess the sliver of hope really falls in line with the fact that they're both wearing their wedding rings now instead of just JLO, and that Violet is visiting and hanging out with her. I don't know if that's really marks a definite of reconciliation, but I could see where someone may think that it is. But they're definitely taking time apart, and so I guess we'll have to see as time will tell. So let's go on to our final sharing, which is Miss NENE. And she's got a lot to talk about, I guess, because she's sharing about how, well, that's not our last sharing, is it? Let's see. Her next, our last sharing is NENE Leakes. Basically, she admits her relationship with her boyfriend could be better. That doesn't sound like a ringing endorsement, but Page 6 is sharing that NENE Leakes is still dating her boyfriend despite having a lukewarm report about their relationship. She says, "We're okay," the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum told E! News in an interview published Saturday. "Could always be better. He keeps checking a few boxes, but we have some work to do." Leakes 56 went public with her boyfriend in December 2021. I think his name is Sayo. Just months after her longtime husband, Greg Leakes, died from colon cancer. The pair were originally married in 1997, but divorced in 2011. They had found love once again and remarried in June of 2013, 5 years before Greg was diagnosed with cancer. After her husband passed, she confirmed he gave her his blessing to move on romantically. "Greg and I had a very tearful conversation before his passing," she told the Shade Room. "His words to me were, be happy, keep smiling, and he who finds you has found a good one." Mm-hmm. While chatting with E! Leakes said she was open to marriage again, but didn't see it coming anytime soon. "I don't have to have marriage because I've had it before, but I certainly would like a really good, healthy relationship that has a lot of love and respect," she noted. She has been open about her and Saya's off and on relationship, revealing last July that they were on a break because they were just not working at that moment. During her chat with E! Leakes candidly complained about the state of dating in today's society. She says, "Things have definitely changed since I met Greg 25 years ago," she reflected. "Now dating out here, I feel like the pool of men are not that great, and it's just hard to find someone that is emotionally available." That's very daunting. "I always say you want someone to come into your life that helps to elevate you or teach you something or just make you great." Despite wanting someone emotionally available, the TV personality and businesswoman said in April she thinks cheating is acceptable as long as it's done in a respectful manner. Did I read that right? Cheating is acceptable as long as it's done in a respectful manner. I have no idea what that means. But let's keep going. "If I'm here in Georgia and you went to San Francisco," she's going to tell us what that means, "for the weekend, I'm saying any city. What you don't know, it won't hurt you," she explains in an Instagram live with Carlos King. Yeah. So my thoughts are no to cheating. But that's her feelings about it. That's an interesting way to end off an interview. But yeah, kind of calls into play why things could be better. I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's quite interesting take on things. But I do hear that dating, in a word, sucks. And look, generation upon generation has probably experienced the same kind of thing in some form in that time, where dating is just not easy. Getting to know people, getting to have a connection with someone, and then you're talking about the honesty and the fidelity and all the other things, the love, the compassion, all those things. It's just not easy being in a relationship. Sometimes, whether you're married or not, you can have difficulties. But she is still continuing to thrive in the professional world, which I think is always a good thing. It gives you something to fall back on. So I'm happy for her on that. But what are your thoughts on NENE'S real pragmatic and realistic take on her own relationship? Being transparent enough to say, hey, it could be better. Do you think that her thoughts on we're not even going to go there with the other thing, but you can feel free to chime in and talk about it if you like to, because as you know, my thoughts were no to cheating. But do you think that her and her boyfriend will stand the test of time? I know they've been in and out of the media circuit or news circuit for quite some time. So just let me know your thoughts respectfully down in the comment section. Right. So now we are moving to the last sharing here, and we are going to be talking about Remy Ma. And this just makes me sad every time I, read anything about her. I really like Remy, and I just feel like, so many things are going not the way they're supposed to, I'm sure, not according to plan, at least maybe not her plan. And I just feel for the whole demise of the situation. But, prayers to everything that surrounds that situation. Her son is also going through we're going to stick to this one right now. But I did do a video on it if you're interested in taking a look. But yeah, there's been a lot of speculation in regards to the relationship with Remy and Papoose. They have been very quiet. I think, or tight-lipped for the most part, except for a few things that have maybe been shared, regards to possible infidelity or whatnot. But them two both haven't really come out and really spoke about it too much. Nearly not as much as it was about the whole love thing when they weren't feeling it. But it's quite clear that there's issues there. It's quite clear that this may not be going to a resolve that will mean that they'll stay together. So let's just go ahead and get into this sharing. According to Hot New Hip Hop, it says that Remy Ma appears to use her maiden name, further fueling Papoose breakup rumors. Now, Remy Ma is further fueling the rumors that she and her long-term partner, Papoose, have split up. In the credits of her new collaboration with Fool and Dre and Fat Joe, Out of Control, she used her maiden name, Remy Kiani Smith. When the Neighborhood Talk shared the update on Instagram, they noted that back in 2017, she was still using Remy Mackey. Now, fans had mixed feelings about the latest rumors. In the comments section of the Neighborhood Talk's Instagram post, one user had wrote, "She got that surgery and started acting brand new. Pat loved her with the blonde bang and the black bob." Another added, "At least it wasn't messy. They separated quietly, and I wish nothing but the best for that man and her, of course. Hope she understand, baby, ain't nothing out here in these streets." Yeah, see, didn't NENE just share that too? That is rough out here in this Dayton streets. Now, rumors of trouble in Remy and Papoose's relationship began last year when Remy allegedly had an affair with the battle rapper Easy the Block Captain. Easy seemingly confirmed the rumors in an audio clip that made its way online in December. Remy denied the allegations in a post on X, formerly Twitter, at the time. "Can y'all please stop with Easy and Pap lies," she wrote. Despite the denial, the rumors have persisted, with fans even analyzing Remy's body language when she's been spotted with Papoose. The two have been married since 2008. Again, Mary Ma had appeared to begin using her maiden name. And of course, the credits to the Out of Control album now basically show that the name Remy Kiani Smith is listed as the credit. On the song, she had made headlines for referencing also her 2008 convictions of assault, possession of an illegal weapon, and attempting coercion. So that's just one more, I guess, pin in the situation. I really do hope that things come to light for her and Papoose, whatever way that it must be. Hopefully that they will find some kind of peace and be able to still be able to, be friends if that's even possible, if this is not going to stay as a marriage. And they do have that beautiful girl. They do have their the children as well together. And um, yeah, it's just really sad to see relationships fall apart, seemingly ones that seem to really be so intact. It just goes to show you never know what people are going through and the type of trials and tribulations that befall all of us, whether you're a celebrity or not. And it can't be easy, also having all of this stuff being navigated in the public eye at the same time with everybody's thoughts and opinions. And of course, with that being said, I'm going to ask you your respectful thoughts and opinions in the comment section on these stories. Do you think that this is spelling just one more example to the end of that relationship? Or do you think there might be hope? Sometimes people will say there's always hope. So, we'll just have to see. But in the meantime, I wish both of them well. Papoose seems like a really great guy. And yeah, we just hope that whatever happens in the conclusion that it's supposed and meant to be. So with that being said, I think that about does it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed the sharings. If you are new here, I hope that you will go ahead and subscribe and be part of the family. I would so love to have you. And for those of you who are newly subscribed or have already been subscribed for a while now, I just want to thank you so much for all of you for your viewing and support. I really do appreciate it. And if you appreciated the information and the story share, please don't forget to leave a like on your way out. I think this will probably do it for today. But I do hope to be back tomorrow. But nevertheless, if wish for you to have a blessed day, evening, whatever time that you're watching this video. And as I bid you to, take care. And yeah, until next time. Bye.